couple of charts as well and see what's happening with Bitcoin and the rest of the market as well. Okay, we're live, we're good, the stream looks good. Hopefully there's not going to be any problems today. First of all, if you can go down to the like button, hit that like button just now, that would be fantastic. It does really help the channel as well, and I'll just see if we're live and up and running, if we've got a few people in. Just now, we've got anybody in? Is anybody out there? Live stream is saying it's not healthy. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. So you might experience some buffering just now. Hopefully the live stream health will go better. But just let me know if you can see me okay and you can hear me okay as well. And we're not buffering, i.e. stopping and starting. Hopefully we don't want that. Hopefully it's going to be okay. Yeah, just let me know, because there's been problems over the last couple of days with YouTube. So just let me know. Okay, so just jump over to the chat area just now, see who we've got in. We've got Stephen King is in the house. Good morning to you. George Charles is in. Gordy Boy Scotland, IoT Financial, Alex Jug, Honest Crypto Johnny, Ben Polgardi, Cookie is in, Dennis van der Hagen, Hayden, Andreas, Mitch Dieter, Gary Stewart, and Crypto 74, Marcus Jafari, Tom's Vibe, Martin Soom is in as well. So good to see you all here. If you are watching this just now and you've not left a comment before, or you don't usually leave comments, leave a comment just to say hi to everybody. This is a good community we've got here. So that'll be good. And we'll go over to, I'm just going to check this. Yeah, the live stream is healthy. So we're good, we're all good to go. And so check the markets. First of all, what's happening? $133 billion we're up to. So it's gone up, slightly, it's gone up by about 1%ish, 1.5%, which is good to see. Bitcoin is 3,919 aggregated price. Not quite 4,000 yet, but it's getting there to the 4,000, and hopefully we'll break through on up to 4,200 after that. I'm just going to refresh this. I think Bitcoin took a slight dip. Ever so slightly, it's not that much. So who's the winners and the losers? ABBC coin. That coin that nobody really knows about is moving on up again. It was up yesterday, it's up 6.83% again. It's up to number 24 on CoinMarketCap. Ravencoin has had a brilliant run, up 30% just now. It was up more. Aurora Coin, Huobi Token, Binance Coin, KuCoin Shares, Digitex Futures. You notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exchange tokens are up. 21% for Aurora, Huobi 13%. Binance Coin has gone brilliant. It's gone amazing. It's up to $15.31 just now. In this bear market, that's brilliant, and we're up to the all-time high. And Satoshi value for Binance as well, it just keeps going strength to strength, and it seems to be moving away. It seems to have kind of severed its ties with the kind of Bitcoin price as well. KuCoin Shares is up 13%. Digitex Futures is up 13% as well, and it's number 79 on CoinMarketCap, which is excellent. So double digits. Who's at the bottom? Repo, Nexo, Quant, Holo, Waves, Theta, Loom, Arc, Engine, Cubitica is down as well. So what's the percentage? We have about 28% or 30% in the red, 70% in the green. We'll look at the overall market, see who's done well. Ice Rock Mining on 12,000 volume, they're up 12 times from where they were, so 1,297% from where they were. Winco on 33,000 volume, not that big volume, up 206%. Ordocoin, 20,000 volume. Beetlecoin is on 49,000 volume, up 85% as well. And it's good to look at these circulating supplies. Ice Rock Mining, 15 million, up 1,200%, which is amazing. Market cap is low as well. So we like to look at these because you can get some ideas on what to kind of look for. You can start researching some coins as well. So that's it. ZB, I've seen this at 42 million volume. I don't think that's right. but it could be. ZB, I've never heard of ZB before, up 58%, 71% over the last 7 days. Need to check that out as well. So that's the markets overall just now. We'll have a look at Bitcoin just now. I'll check in the Renko charts. Bitcoin, we'll just look at BTC USD. So this is Bitstamp, obviously 3,851 at the moment. We'll check on BLX, and that's an aggregated kind of one, and that's on the daily as well, 3,869. So I think we'll use the BLX for the future. So 3,869 for that. On the daily, it still looks okay. On the daily there, we're still looking good for Bitcoin price just now. Crossed over 70 EMA, crossed over the 50 EMA a few days ago on the 18th of February, a few weeks ago now, and it stayed up there just now. So we need to stay there just now, and we need to break the kind of 4,000 level first of all. That'll be the first kind of psychological barrier to break. Once we break that, on up to 4,200, and we'll just show you BTC USD. I've got this ascending triangle. We can see it's back in the ascending triangle, and we want to see the resistance of 4,200 for Bitcoin as well in this ascending triangle. And obviously here are resistance points as well. So 4,000, 4,500, 4,200 for Bitcoin. Do I think it's going to go up? I still do think it's going to go up past the 4,000 level. I still feel that there's going to go up from there, but you never can tell. So who are the other players? We can have a look at Ethereum, BTC. We'll have a look at them as well, see what's happening with them. Still looking good on the daily for Ethereum. It'd be good to get close to a yearly high for Ethereum of 4.1 or 4.2 million Satoshi. We've got 3.5 million just now. We'll look at Litecoin, look at the USD value, and Coinbase. We're nearly breaking out this kind of upward channel here, which is good. So we are at $55 just now. We did get to $58 for Litecoin, so it's getting ever closer to that $70 I mentioned when I said it was going to double from around the $35 mark. So it's getting closer to this kind of resistance line here. If it gets to that and breaks through that, we're on up to going towards $100 for Litecoin. So I know a lot of people didn't think that was going to happen anytime soon, but it was. Only 3 months ago it was down at $22, and it's now went up 200%. That's Litecoin. What's happening with XRP? It's gone down slightly. Again, we're still waiting on that breaking out, but it's still holding to this kind of support line on this symmetrical triangle. So it's definitely holding to that just now, which is still good to see. And we were talking yesterday, what was it doing? What was it doing yesterday? Info line. This is the line I wanted to kind of show you as well. So usually kind of what happens with this, once we kind of break out, this is a smaller symmetrical triangle. Oh no, this is a larger one. I was looking at a smaller one earlier on. So this is the kind of larger one. So we said usually when it breaks out is from the height of the lowest point, from where it broke out up to the height of the last point, and then looking at that, this is where we can hope to see kind of XRP breaking out to, which is about 14,500 roughly. If it kind of broke out here, obviously it broke out here, we're down slightly. But I still expect that to happen with XRP. It's not happening just now, which is frustrating for you. But I've got a lot of holding that I'm holding for the long term. I'm also kind of trading this for the short term as well. On BitMEX with a 10x, leverage. So I've been in and out, and I got back in at 8,264 on BitMEX. So we'll look at XRPH just to show you kind of what we're talking about here. So it's 8,208 at the moment, and we'll go into the hourly. So I did get in originally at 8,224, got out at 8,300 odds for a 13% profit, got back in at 8,265. So it's down at the moment about 7 or 8%, but I made about 0.1 of a Bitcoin yesterday. So hopefully it doesn't go down below the stop loss limit, which is 8,120. So I'm wanting for it, or looking for it to break out from here, and we've been talking about it for days and days. A lot of people are looking for this to break out as well, and I do think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time before it does break out. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Okay, so that's some of the charts. One second, just go back to comments. Oh, that was the news as well. We got news of Custos. There was a tweet. We'll go in the interest of being tweet.com. We don't want that. I'll just show you this from Bab. And Rushdie had kind of posted a picture. Get Bab. Right, as the nah, it's not on the. I thought it was on the Twitter feed, so it must have been in Telegram group. He's actually posted a picture. So it's of the billionaire from kind of Custos, the Custos group. They're an investment group, and kind of tweeting that, not tweeting it. They're kind of posting in a Telegram group. So there's going to be an official announcement very soon about Custos and the partnership with Custos as well. I don't know the financial details yet about that partnership, but it does look good for them, and it's done good for the prices. It's kind of went up slightly as well. I think it's went up to about 7 Satoshi just now, which is brilliant. So if you're holding BAB, that really pleased. If you're still holding BAB just now, yeah, 7 Satoshi just now, which is good. We'll just have a look on here. Let's make sure that is right. Yeah, 7 Satoshi up 10% today. Market cap is back to 5 million. And you can see the slight jump there as well. So that's good to see. It did go down to 4 Satoshi with a market cap of 3 million, so it's almost doubled. It's almost gone up 100%. So if you got in at 4 Satoshi, brilliant as well. And if you still held, good, really good for you. Volume is still low at 28,000, but that's good news for BAB. So really chuffed for everybody that's holding BAB just now. Let's talk about BAB if you can. That's Martin Soom. I was just speaking to Martin Soom in the free group. Adam Forrest, hi to you. Peter Carroll, good morning to you as well. Matthew Parks, good morning. Olo Brambleberg, good morning to you. Jay saying, come on BAB. Yeah, hopefully this is going to be the turnaround for BAB. This would be brilliant if this can go up from here and they get the license. Once they get the license, that's going to be brilliant for them. Imran Chowdhury is in the house. Good morning to you. Chris Noble is in. Good morning to you. Mark Innes, good morning team. And well done premiums. Yes, a lot of people in the premium have done really well with Wabi, with Engine Coin, with BNB. A lot of people in the premium have done really good with the kind of calls recently as well. Not just the calls, but their own kind of trading as well. Matthew Parks expecting big surge in BAB with formal announcement, which is due by the end of the week. Yes, so that's looking good for BAB, as I said. Martin Soom, me too. Crypto Dread, Skycoin mainnet just happened Monday, I believe. What do you think about being a competitor for Tron? I don't know enough about the tech to talk about being a competitor to Tron, so I can't really kind of comment on that. Crypto Dread. Kig is in the house. Good morning to you. Imran saying Sky is a different type of coin altogether. Can't compare it with TRX. Cardano may be updating to 1.50 either today or tomorrow in preparation for Shelley. Check your wallets. Excellent for prompts. Rafi Bogosian is in the house as well. Okay, so we'll look at the news. Just some news stories I've kind of been looking at. Where was that news story? Right, so Brian Kelly calls Bitcoin and crypto bottom. So from a potential end to the long crypto winter to escalating drama between XRP users and Coinbase, here's a look at some of the stories. So in Coinbase, I don't know how true this is, but we'll kind of go into that later. So Brian Kelly, the founder and CEO of crypto investment firm BKCM, says he now firmly believes the long Bitcoin and crypto winter is starting to thaw. So it's starting to thaw out. So it's not saying we've not seen the bottom yet, but it's saying it's starting to thaw out and we're close to the bottom. On CNBC's Fast Money, Kelly said Bitcoin's fundamentals are strong and institutional investments are on the rise. So what he said here is, I think we're looking at the thaw here. It's a crypto thaw. We had the crypto winter. When you look under the hood of what's going on with crypto, we're actually seeing some improving fundamentals. And the one stat I will give you, if you look at the number of addresses that have been created on a Bitcoin network, that's up about 20% from January lows. It's at highs at the levels we saw in spring of 2018 when Bitcoin was well above $6,000. So fundamentally, you're starting to see improvement. And he goes on to say you're also starting to see some institutional interest. Some high-profile investors, endowments have been dipping their toe into the space. Add in that, you're talking about Fidelity coming out with custody this week, Jack Dorsey, and he understands the payment network, and there's a part of the Bitcoin network called the Lightning Network that he has said is only a matter of time, not if but when, that Lightning Network comes to the Square app, and that Lightning Network allows you to transact very easily at stores, and that again could be another catalyst for the thawing of this crypto winter that we've been having for the last year or so. And obviously it's still going to continue, this crypto winter, but is it starting to thaw out? Ripple and XRP. Right, so this was a kind of news story as well. Meanwhile, a number of XRP users on Coinbase say the company is refusing to help customers who transfer XRP to the crypto exchange without including a destination tag. Now, it says quite clearly, because I've got some XRP on Coinbase, it says quite clearly you need a destination tag, and it won't let you move forward unless you kind of click on the proceed to say you've understood that you need a destination tag. And it says quite clearly, if you don't have the destination tag, you could end up losing all your kind of XRP. It says that quite clearly, so I don't know why people are complaining. So it's down to human error. It's nothing to do with the company Coinbase, because Coinbase do quite clearly state that you need this destination tag. So you need an XRP address and you need the destination tag as well. So it just goes on to say what they are, and it's really important for XRP. And destination tags are a string of numbers that should be entered when sending XRP from one wallet to another in order to ensure the funds are sent to the right address. If the sender does not include a tag, it can be difficult but not impossible to track the funds down. Coinbase says XRP sent to the exchange without a destination tag is permanently lost. However, other exchanges are able to jump in and fix the issue without a fuss. So, why would I totally understand where people are coming from, but at the same time, you're getting asked and getting told, if you do not have a destination tag, you're going to lose this. So make sure you have the destination tag correct. So it's just like checking your wallet address as well. So I don't see Coinbase as at fault here, to be honest. To the moon. Anonymous Bitcoin and crypto supporter penned space message saying 1 BTC will be more than enough for the future. So this is a message that was sent out into space, powered by spacebit.live. Users can pay a fee in Bitcoin to send messages through satellites operated by Blockstream, and the message signal is a growing zen for moving data, value, Bitcoin and crypto through outer space. So this message, anybody can send this message to be honest, but this message, 1 BTC will be more than enough for the future. And I firmly believe that. If you can get 1 Bitcoin just now and you just hold it, for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, then you could be a millionaire in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, because it could be worth $1 million. 1 Bitcoin could be worth $1 million. So this is just, for me, it's just another sign just to say what we're doing is right. What we're we're thinking just now that Bitcoin is way down low, it's $3,500, whatever it is just now, 3,800, and it's really low. Is it ever going to go back up? Yes, it will. Is one Bitcoin going to be enough for the future? Yes, it will be as well. It's just another sign just to say, listen, it's going to be okay in the future. Not that that's a prophetic message or anything, but it's just another kind of wee reminder, for me anyway. Switzerland records first real estate deal on the blockchain. So this is coming about tokenization of real estate as well. And I think this is a really good kind of use case for the blockchain as well. So the first real estate transaction on blockchain has been successfully completed in Switzerland. The feat was achieved by Blockimo Limited, a blockchain property transaction platform in collaboration with 2 other companies. So this was worth 3 million Swiss francs, which is about nearly $3 million as well, around about the same. It's $1 to 1 Swiss franc. Was conducted by Elia Labs Limited, Swiss Crypto Tokens Limited and Blockimo for a deal consisting of a restaurant and 18 apartments. So I kind of wondered how this was going to kind of happen, but what they've done is they've tokenized it and they've got it tied to, or pegged to, the Swiss franc, or the crypto franc, which is a Swiss stablecoin pegged to the Swiss franc, and that's how they're able to support the transaction. Because I thought, okay, if you're going to do this, who would want to buy property just now with Bitcoin? Who the hell would want to do that? Unless you had like thousands and thousands of Bitcoin, you wouldn't want to do that, because if you think the price of Bitcoin is going to go up, then why would you do that? So you can obviously do it with a stable coin. That's the best way to do it, with a stable coin just now. But essentially it's still just like kind of trying. So basically what they've done is they've bought the stable coin, the crypto franc, and kind of paid for it that way through the blockchain. But they could have just done it with the same, with kind of money as well, although they're going to be saving money on the transaction fees as well, which will be a lot of money for $3 million. I think we've seen yesterday Swift for $5,000, it cost $100 to move, or something like that. So if you've got $5 million, what's that, $100,000 to move it? So it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper as well. So that's good. That's good news for the cryptosphere as a whole, and just more nails in the coffin of fiat for me. I think that's what it is. And this is Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse on JPM coin, and he's saying other banks won't use it, but he did. This is what I was saying last week as well, or a couple of weeks ago. This is why it's good for kind of crypto. So Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of San Francisco blockchain startup Ripple, gave JP Chase qualified praise on Wednesday for creating its own stablecoin, before dismissing the product's likelihood of adoption by other banks and questioning its usefulness. So during a fireside chat, he said at the Blockchain Summit in Washington, Garlinghouse said he thinks it's great to have a major financial players like JP Morgan leaning in, but he quickly added, "That's the only nice thing I'm going to say about this." So that's what I was saying kind of last week and a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to check, make sure we're okay, by the way. Right, so we're okay. It's just to make sure we were still up and running, because we've been having problems the last couple of days. So I was saying a couple of weeks ago that JP Morgan getting in, bringing out their own coin, it gives credence to the whole cryptosphere. And that's what it does. It gives credence to cryptocurrencies, stable coins, it gives credence to the blockchain as well, with big companies like that, and other companies are going to set up and take notice of that, obviously. So that's, for me, that was a good thing that JPM were coming in. But that's the only good thing I've seen as well, and this is what Brad Garlinghouse is saying as well. That's the only good thing, because essentially what it's saying is you're only going to be able to use it in-house. So you're only going to be able to buy the coin, buy one JPM coin with $1, and then you can start transacting within the bank. But what's the point of that? And that's essentially what Brad Garlinghouse is saying as well. So another conference last week, Garlinghouse recalled, this guy from Morgan Stanley was interviewing me. I said, so is Morgan Stanley going to use JPM coin? And he said, probably not. So, well, is Citi going to use JPM coin? Is BBVA? Is PNC? And the answer is no. No other banks are going to use this. So this is an in-house stable coin that they're going to be using it. So it's just essentially like a CBDC that the bank's going to have. That's kind of what it's like. And it kind of is a CBDC. When we think about it. So yeah, I think I don't think it's going to be useful for the JPM coin. I don't think it's going to be a threat to XRP. And this is Brad Garlinghouse coming out and said that as well. Binance's CZ, XRP is one of the largest market cap coins. It's like that for a reason. So this is Changpeng Zhao of Binance. Obviously we know him from Binance. Is very supportive of XRP. So this is talking about the AMA that was had. I kind of talked about that yesterday as well. CZ jokingly replied that if he talked about XRP anymore, he will become a part of the XRP army, a term used to describe die-hard XRP fans. Am I a die-hard XRP fan? I definitely didn't used to be, but I'm leaning more towards it. I wouldn't say I was a die-hard. If something came out about it that wasn't good news, then obviously I wouldn't be in it. But I do see huge benefits for it and bringing people into cryptosphere as well as institutions and banks, and I just see a lot of positive things about XRP. So then, a more serious note, CZ proclaimed that he did have something to say. It's very typical in our society that as soon as there is any accusation against you, you're assumed guilty by many parties. I think people are aware that there is a lawsuit against XRP, he meant Ripple of course, on whether they're a security asset or not. Our judgment is they're not, and until proven that they are, we listed them. And luckily, we actually dragged other exchanges to list them as well. So obviously, this is what's holding XRP price down just now. And it's a gamble we're kind of taking. That is going to, the SEC are going to come out and say this is not a security. When that happens, hopefully it is going to happen, then XRP is just going to fly. But I don't know when that is going to happen, if it's going to happen or not as well. So is XRP a security? CZ doesn't think so. Going back to December 2018 when Ripple's XRP was under fire for not getting listed on Coinbase and potentially being labelled as a security, CZ publicly announced via Twitter that he does not believe XRP to be a security. But it doesn't matter what you or I or CZ says, is going to have to come out from an official channel that is not a security. So that's going to be an ongoing kind of shitstorm as well. Renowned historian of money says he was very wrong about Bitcoin. This is Niall Ferguson, a renowned kind of economic historian, once named as one of the most influential people in the world by Time magazine, said he was very wrong about Bitcoin. So he was telling the story about his son, kind of talking about Bitcoin 5 years ago, and because he knows about the history of money, he just said, this is just ridiculous, it's a complete delusion is what he said. But he's now came out, much to his credit, and said he was wrong about Bitcoin. I'm just going to see. This is from Krugman, so he's not given a statement there. I did see it. So I'm on record as saying that crypto is a mishmash of technobabble and libertarian derp, but I guess I should add that it's also a giant drop for sufferers from Dunning-Kruger syndrome. Oh, this is Paul Krugman. Krugman, yeah. So that was the wrong one, I do apologise. So where was his statement there? I can't find it. But he's came out and said he was wrong about Bitcoin as well. And a number of other people are kind of attacking that. I thought that was interesting. Next, Google or next MySpace exchange takes risk out of investing on new cryptocurrencies. Thought this was a good idea. So this is from Like. This is an exchange. Like is an exchange. If you check on CoinMarketCap, you can see. In fact, I'll just see how much they actually do. This is the actual token, the Like token, 7 million market cap. But I want to see the exchange and see, because this could change things for Like exchange, and it might be a good investment for the future as well. So Like exchange, it's only $67,000, so it's not that much just now. And that's the volume of Like exchange, but this might kind of bring it in line with the other exchanges. So Like says it's often difficult for crypto users to know where digital assets they've acquired will be in the future. obviously. They could be the next Google, something that's going to rise astronomically in the years to come. But on the other hand, they could turn out to be the next MySpace, popular until something else comes along. So the exchange has created a service called Lyke. I don't know if it's Lyke or Lyce, which enables users to access the top 25 cryptocurrencies based on their market capitalization. So Lyke says it is rebalanced minute by minute, which means as cryptos gain and fall out of favour, you get a piece of this action as it is happening. I think it's a brilliant idea. And according to the company, this allows people who are interested in getting involved in cryptocurrencies to receive a helping hand in diversifying their portfolio without the need to have a forensic knowledge about where the market is heading next. Like his website explains, as soon as an asset starts to devalue, Lyke or Lyce starts reducing your position in it and increases your position in the appreciating assets. So this is like top 25 with one click, and I think is a really, really good idea. So it describes Lyce as a simple, accessible and tradable ERC20 token, and says that it's a service is accompanied by a low fee of 1.45% per year, a fee that is deducted upon settlement. So I'm going to be checking it out, but I thought this was a brilliant idea, so check that out as well. And I think if we can look at this, I'm going to show you this as well, cvvc.com. This was something I shared with one of the premium users yesterday, with Bruce. I thought this company is really interesting, Crypto Valley Venture Capital, but they've got, and I'll share this with you in the comments as well, the Crypto Valley's top 50 Q1 2019. So they've got a top 50 of the blockchain companies, and some of them, a lot of them are on CMC as well. But what I was looking at here is, right, we'll show you the report just now very, very quickly. We've got time just now, but I'll share this with you as well, as I said, because I think this is really interesting. And I think we've been looking for kind of these hidden gems. I'm always looking for hidden gems anyway, but it's difficult to kind of look into these hidden gems and do all the research, because there's a lot of research you have to do. So this company, cvvc.com, I've kind of taken some of that away, because I've got a lot of ideas from this company as well, and these are kind of companies that invest in blockchain companies. And I'm just going to see, so Lyke was one of them. They invested. Lyke takes advantage of breakthroughs in crypto technology to build a global internet exchange with immediate settlement for all asset classes and types of financial instruments. The banking architecture is outdated and needs to be replaced. They propose an internet exchange that uses blockchain to trade all types of financial instruments. The benefits are immediate settlement, low transaction fees, the absence of a single point of failure, and strategic independence. So this company, cvvc.com, has invested in Lyke or Lyke, I don't know how they're pronouncing that, and it looks to be actually okay for as an investment, or a possible investment for the future, as a possible kind of hidden gem as well. And this came from a conversation myself and a couple of the premium members and the kind of free group members as well. So it has been as high as 36 cents. It's now 2 cents just now, but we'll go on the Satoshi value. It has been as high as, say, 7,000, and it's now at 575 Satoshi. So much in line with the rest of the market as well. But it does look good. I don't know why the volume there is saying as low as it. It's just on the Lyke exchange, so it's not that much. So this could be the start of something for them, and this could propel them to something much bigger for them as well. And plus, they're not only doing an exchange, they do it as financial instruments they're doing as well. So it could be big, this one. So just to kind of keep an eye on that. And I think that's the news for today. It is indeed. It is. That's the news I wanted to share with you. Go to some of the comments. Benton Taylor is in, good morning to you. Cole Phillips is in, good morning to you as well. Imran Chowdhury, Steve, check the BTC video on the channel, the rankings. It's a really great video in a graph style. it really gives you an idea of where we have come and where we could go. Excellent, I'll check that out. Thanks for that, Imran. Check the video, channel the rankings. I'll just check that just now, just have a wee look. I don't know if this is the right one. Global brands ranking. Was it global brands or was it BTC? Most earned. History of Bitcoin. Right. That was 1 year ago. So it's only 5 minutes long. Right. So it must be another one. It shows you all that. I do apologise, but it kind of shows you how far it's came. So that's good. And thanks for that, Imran. Plus, look at their other video on top 15 best global brands. Excellent. We'll check that out. There's so much money locked up in real estate. Once it gets tokenized, it takes away the fees and middleman associated with real estate. So much money to be unlocked. There is. That's the thing about blockchain as well. So it's not just about cryptocurrencies and kind of as an investment tool. It's about blockchain and how it can save money as well. And this is where it comes to for the banking as well. But hospitals, just records, keeping records and stuff like that. There's just so much use case for blockchain as well. It's just going to revolutionize a lot of things. Tom's vibe, I think we might be getting there. Excellent. Gary Parmenter, XRP will have his boost shortly. I do believe so. And Talia Homes accepts Bitcoin for property sales in Turkey. Need to check that out as well. I think we're going up to. I don't have any yet. What are we talking about, Tom, here? Have I missed something? Talking about XRP or BAB or... BAB is on the upward run right now, 7 sats. Yes, we kind of looked at that. Sales 9 houses for BTC. That's Imran. Brilliant. G-Slick is in the house. Dennis van der Hayden. What do you think will happen with Tron? Tron, we'll just have a wee look at TRX. I thought that was going up shortly, but has it stalled? 595. Yeah, it's kind of stalled just now. Tron is very up and down. Obviously, you can see that. So is any cryptocurrency up and down. Very up and down. But for the future, I think with the BTT, what they're going to be doing with BTT, if they do get 1 billion users, a billion. Think about that. That's 15% of the world's population. If they've got 1 billion, it's around 15%. If they can, I don't know, somehow kind of monetize that, it could be worth an absolute fortune for them. Even if they get 10% of that for people to pay even a subscription fee for streaming or something. I don't know how they're going to play it, how the business model is going to look for BTT, but I think Tron could absolutely explode, or it could just go. It's difficult to say with Tron, but I do think it's got its fingers in that many pies that something's going to come off, and I do believe BTT is going to be at the centre of that. Now I believe that because of the number of users. I was thinking about buying a company, and this is just a way to think about this as well. So I was thinking about buying a company in the crypto space, and it's kind of really cheap just now. And I'm thinking, so I'm not really caring about the company or the app that they've got out just now, but what I do care about is the number of email sign-ups they've had. So they must have had at least 100,000 sign-ups. So to buy it really cheap is going just now for a song just now, basically. It's going for about $10,000 or something. So basically you spend $10,000 to buy 100,000 kind of names or email names, which is a bargain. Believe me, if you've been in the internet marketing space, you'll know that is a bargain, because as people that have actually signed up within the last couple of years and they're motivated, they're talking about they want, and it's about crypto that they've signed up for. So it could be an absolute steal. So imagine if I was to send out an email to 100,000 people. Obviously, there's only going to be a 20% open rate, which is about 20,000 people. And then a click-through rate might be a good 40% or something like that. So don't know how much it could be. It could be about 8,000 people clicking through. But if I was to offer my premium program to 8,000 people clicking through, imagine how much that would bring in as well for spending $10,000. So if we think about it that way, from what BTT and Tron are trying to do, then it gives you an idea of how you can monetize something like this as well. So if they had a kind of an upgraded streaming service where it was $5 a month or something, and 1 million people were paying that, it's $5 million a month over the space of a kind of year, and they'll have upgrades and stuff like that as well. I just think it could be an amazing kind of business model for them as well. So we've got to kind of think outside the box of what they're doing here. It's not just on blockchain, it's about kind of how they monetize it as well. And that's my thoughts on it. That's why I think BTT are going to do well. That's why I think Tron are going to do well in the future as well. Long term, I think Tron are excellent. Short term, obviously, it doesn't look that brilliant just now. On the hourly, on the daily, Tron doesn't look good. It's crossed down over, so I wouldn't be buying in at the moment. That's on the daily and the hourly, so I wouldn't get in there as well. On the 4 hourly, it was coming up, but it didn't quite cross over. And I did call it because I thought it was going to cross over. It didn't quite get there, but it did get up to, I think it was 657 when I called it. Something like that. And before coming back down. So short term, maybe not so much short term. And short term could be anything from 4 hours to kind of next week or so. Long term, yes. That's what I think of Tron. So that was a bit rambled there. Have they got Spidey sense though? Yes, have they got Spidey sense? I'm hoping my Spidey sense was wrong. Mark, I'm hoping the Spidey sense was wrong. I know exactly what you're talking about there. We'll see. We'll see if they have. Loyal Tanji is in the house. Good morning to you. Satoshi Sean is in. Likes Kush. Thanks, mate. Adam Forrest. There's an IBM XLM presentation coming up soon. Not sure if you've mentioned that, Steve. I haven't mentioned that. XLM, I think, is going to be another one. It's just going to go mental soon. If we think and look at XLM and where it's been, obviously it's as low as 760 Satoshi, but we're near, close to a yearly bottom, or the last 18 months or something, close to the bottom of that. And where it could go, I think this could jump up very quickly as well. And they've got the IBMs. I think it was very briefly spoken about yesterday as well, about the IBM presentation as well. So we'll kind of see what happens with that as well when that happens. Yep, that is the vid that tells the story properly. Ah, right, okay. Thanks for that, Matthew. King 1969 is in as well. King 1969 Larson. Is this Henrik Larson that you're referring to? Loyal Tanji, this vid gave me chills. Did you miss anything? Loads. We're just about finishing up, mate. What do you think about WAN? I've never really kind of paid attention to WAN chain. I've never kind of dug into it in any way. Near its all-time low. It was up to 100,000. Now down to 7,870, 12 times from where it is just now. So I do look, obviously, the market capitalization, where it is in relation to its kind of all-time high and all-time low as well. From just looking at the all-time low point of view, it could be a good one to get into. Obviously, you'd have to look at the fundamentals as well, but this could be a good one to get into just from looking at the all-time low, because it's near its all-time low. However, that doesn't mean to say it's not going to go any lower. But just from that point of view, it would pique my interest to do a wee bit more research, but I've never really done research on it, to be honest. Tom's Vibe, yes, XRP, yes. XRP, Spidey Sense is on, is going to explode at some point. I just think it's going to happen. Rotangia, love Tron. Yeah, a lot of people do. I think Tron are going to do amazing for the future as well. A big fan of his kind of marketing. It's very unorthodox, Justin Sun, for his marketing, but it's effective. If marketing is effective, you can't say it's bad marketing. Imran Chowdhury, one area you may want to look into blockchain web URLs. There's a company using Zelika's blockchain for URLs, and you could buy one for cheapest chips now, which could be bought out for millions later. Yeah, that was a kind of fad back 10, 15 years ago when kind of the internet, well, it was more than that. When the internet was just getting started, people bought up these kind of URLs and sold them for thousands and millions later on, which was a good strategy. So they're doing that with kind of blockchain as well now. Tom's Vibe seems to have found support and is now starting to come off all-time low. And that was for WAN-Chain, yes, WAN-Chain. see what it was. Gordy Boy Scotland, go for it, buy it. Excellent. Dennis Van der Hayden, thanks. Gino Dalho, everyone, hi Steve, can you see DGB going to $10? There's a lot of hype about DGB just now. I don't know if you've... So where is it just now? 1 cent at the moment. Can I see it going to $10? Who knows with this? But what we have to look at is 133 just now. 133 million at the moment. The market capitalization is 1 cent just now. So we times that by 10 and it goes to 10 cents. So that means it goes to $1.3 billion market capitalization. We times it by 10 again, which means it goes to $1, which means it is what, 13 billion market capitalization. So that's at $1. We times it by 10 again, it goes to $10. That's 130 billion market capitalization. Now, 130 billion, you'll know Bitcoin has got 68 billion. So 130 billion would put it way above Bitcoin, but that's at the moment. That's where Bitcoin is at the moment, at $3,000. If Bitcoin were to get to $20,000, 6 times where it is just now, obviously say you'll know the market capitalization was at 233 billion. So could they get to $130 billion Digibyte? They could. They could get to that in five years' time or something, when Bitcoin is at maybe $1 trillion or $2 trillion. So it's perfectly feasible for that to happen. And we think these numbers are just astronomical just now and think that there's no way that's going to happen, but this could actually happen. This is what we're investing in just now, the very beginning stages. Barbara McDonald is in. Ravencoin, yeah, Ravencoin has done brilliant. RVN, BTC. It's done amazing. It's up to 823 just now. Kind of crossed over on the daily. If you kind of looked at, if all you did, I keep saying this, if all you did was trade on the crossovers, you could make an absolute killing. Here it's just having enough money to trade all the kind of crossovers and kind of get out and having the time to do it. 158% after the crossover. Something else I was looking at as well on BitMEX, where are we on just now on BitMEX? 3841 for Bitcoin. Ripple's down. 8183. So it looks as if we're going down just now. Something I was looking at is XBT was minute trading using the same principles as we're using trading just now. So if you use the same principles for minute trading, and this is just looking at the minute chart, you could still make a lot of money if you were using, say, like 100x leverage on BitMEX, but you're only putting in, say, you're starting with $100 or something. So I want to show you this. So this is minute trading. So minute trading is you're just looking at, well, I'd just be looking at 70 EMA crossing down over the 50 EMA or crossing up over the 50 EMA. So this is the latest one. So if we kind of put a trade in here to sell Bitcoin at 3,859, and at the moment it's 3,841. What percentage is that? We've got a percentage of 0.45%. That would be a gain if you were shorting it. So if you're doing 100x leverage, that would be 45%. So you're thinking, okay, that's not that much. It's just gone down, what, $18 or something. But if you were doing that 10 times a day, and I want to show you this as well, monthly calculator. So if you're getting 50%, okay, so you're getting 50% in each trade, and you're really disciplined, you just go for the 50%. If you're really disciplined, I'm not saying this is a strategy you should use. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as kind of theory. Obviously, you're going to get stopped out a lot of times as well. But if you were doing that, just going for the 50%, if you put in $100, okay, you started with $100 and you had 20 trades. So this is all kind of marked up, but we're just going to go, this is 20 trades, and the interest rate is 50%, and we compound it. And that means you just add on to your next trade. So whatever you make, you just put into your next trade. So from $100, and you've done 20 trades, and you got 50% each. We've kind of looked at something similar to this before. How much do you think that would give you? How much do you think you could come out with after 20 trades, after 20 successful trades in a row with 50%, and you started with $100? Let me know in the comments just now how much you think you would come out with. 20 trades. And 20 trades you could do in a day. If you look at this, so that would be one trade. There'd be another trade here. That wouldn't have given you 50%. Obviously, you're in and out all the time. This would have been another down trade as well, from 88 to 1, down to its upswing. So that would have been 62%. This would have been a trade here. Could have got out 62%. So you could do 20 trades in one day if you're minute trading. So how much do you think from $100 you could get getting 50% each time? So that's leveraged. So it'd be good to see if anybody would, if you can just put your answers in the comments just now. So don't be shy. Put in your comments just now, from $100, 20 trades at 50% each, successful, how much you think you would get back after the 20th trade. Good to see your comments in there just now. How many people we got in? Just now it doesn't say. Nobody's willing to put in the comments, and obviously this is on kind of delayed. So just keep looking at this just now while you put your comments in. Just say from $100 how much you would get back. This would have been another trade here. You could have got out 71%, but if you just waited on it crossing over, you'd have got out 42%. So it's just thoughts that we're kind of looking at here, and just speculation, and just under 2 million. Mervyn Skidmore is saying. No, from $100. So this is talking about in the span of one day. You could do this. If you're minute trading, you could get 20 trades in a day and 50% each. So Mervyn Skidmore has kind of opened it up with 2 million, under $2 million. I could just go to it because we're 5,000. Gino Dow's 20k. Imran Chowdhury is 100k. Ben Polgard is 5,000. Okay, I'll just show you here. It is $332,000. Starting from $100, 20 trades, 50% each. Now, is this achievable? Yes. Is it difficult? Obviously, yes. But if you think about it, where we are just now, if all you did was trade on the crossovers, if that's all you did was trade on the crossovers and confirmed crossovers, i.e. down the way or up the way. It doesn't matter. You're not biased towards any others, towards any of them. But looking at this, there'd be some you got in and you got out to the same price. You wouldn't have lost any. Like here, you'd have got in, and you wouldn't have kind of sold. You wouldn't have kind of sold it because it's only 0.04%. But you'd have sold it on the way back down again, and you'd have sold it kind of down, and then you'd have had to get back in, then you'd have to get back out again. So it'd be a pain in the arse to do, but it's perfectly feasible that you could see down here. If you kind of go out here, you could have had 100%. If you put 1 Bitcoin in, you get 2 Bitcoin out. If you're 100x leveraging, and all you did was minute trade on the 7 EMA and the 50 EMA. So it's just an idea, a thought. Obviously it's much more difficult than that in practice, but I do believe it could be possible, and I'm going to try it. So I'm going to see what happens with that as well, and I'll record it. I don't think anything will happen, because what could happen is you just do the $100 trade at the very beginning, and you might get the first one and come out after 50, and you get $150. Then you go into the next one and you see it spiking up and you think it's going to cross over, but it doesn't actually cross over. It keeps on coming down or something, and you could get stopped out in the very second trade or something like that. So it's just interesting to think about these things. This is the way my kind of mind works. Imran Chowdhury, I think I'm the closest. I think you were. Says you had 100k. Gary Stewart said 70k. So Stephen King says shitloads, not a clue. Shitloads. Kukla, I do OTC trading always. That's how I get my fiat to BTC and back into my bank account. Excellent. Where do you do your OTC trading? It'd be interesting to know that. I know Binance have got OTC as well if you've got over $20,000. Gino Dow can be risky. It would be extremely risky. And imagine having $100,000 and putting it on a minute trade as well. You wouldn't. You'd probably go, I'm not kind of risking that, because you could come down 50% in one fell swoop, or lose it all in one fell swoop. Imran Chowdhury, 1 minute trading, you need to be razor sharp and glued to the green. You would. But if you look at this, and this is just a thought, this is just ideas, but if you look at this just now, this is within the span of, what can I measure this? 77 minutes. So 1 hour 17 minutes. You could be watching the screen after you got out of that trade. So if you're disciplined and you got out after 50%, like here, so you got out here, so you got out after 1 hour or something. If you got out, you just go away, take a break, and then come back and wait for the next trade to come to you instead of you going to the trade. But if you've done it that way, it could work, and your eyes would need to be glued. That's why I was saying you need more time for this as well. But interesting to think about it as well. Mark Innes, let's start now, mate. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it, but I've not got. It's the time. It's just the time. You need to. If I took a week off just to try it, it'd be great just to take a full week off of not doing anything in the business or anything like that, and just do the minute trading and try it. But I could imagine you get stopped out very, very quickly. And Ben Polgardi is saying, wow, these numbers kind of baffle me, and this is how people are making big money as well, if you think about it. George Charles, how about we all give you $10 and have a go at it? I'd be happy if you want to try without your own money. I'd try it. If it's only $100, I would try it, definitely. Very difficult to achieve so many stops. There would be so many stops. That'd be the thing. VR as well. Trades 90 and 20 would be shit scary. It really would. I think if I got up to $50,000, I'd just say, okay, I'm taking 50,000 out, or I'm taking 49,000 out, and I'll start with 1,000 again. I think that's how I would play it. I wouldn't. There's no way I'll take $250,000 and put it on a minute trade on BitMEX. There's no way I would do that. I just wouldn't have the balls to do it. Unless I was sitting with millions and millions and millions in the bank, I would do it then. It would just be like toy money. But I would, I don't even know, after every $10,000, I'd probably take $9,000 out, start with 1,000 again, and do it that way. Imran Chow, might be something to think of once people make a lot of gains to trade into fiat using OTC rather than centralized exchanges to avoid killer fees. I know. Gary Permenda, 486,000 crocodiles, yeah. Guys, heads or tails, getting a ride 20 or 20. 20 out of 20. That it would be extremely difficult. I'm not saying there's no way I think you get 20 successful trades in a row. I think it'd be extremely difficult. Mark Innes, let's kick in a pool. Imran Chowdhury, I used to do that with gold ETFs. I was serious rush, making 20k, then losing it all in the next hour roller coaster. I would imagine that would be addictive because of the hormones kind of being released we spoke about yesterday. That would be really addictive if you're doing that, and I don't think you'd have to have nerves of steel for doing that. Mervyn Skidmore, but you don't lose $100. You would, but if you got up to $50,000 and you put $50,000 on the next trade and then you lost it all, you'd be kicking yourself. You'd be kicking yourself. Might be better odds than the lotto. I think it'd be much better odds than the lotto, to be honest. And it'd be good practice. I think it'd be good practice. If you say, okay, I've got $1,000 and I'm going to start with $100 and just do that and keep on doing it until you find a system that works, because obviously you'd get a feel for the market as well if you're watching it minute by minute. So Bitcoin is going up just now. So what we'd be doing here, we'd be waiting on the confirmation. So it wouldn't be second guessing. You'd have to be disciplined, and you'd see this going up and thinking, well, it's gone up from 3,839 to 3,844. You'd think, okay, I'm going to get it now. This looks as if it's going to go back up. But look here. It was down at 3,833, went up to 3,847, came back down again. So it continued on the slide down. So this looks as if it's going to cross over, but you have to wait on the confirmation. So you have to be disciplined as well. You'd have to be disciplined. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to record it as well, but it'll probably come to nothing. So I'll probably lose in the first, second, or third, or fourth kind of trade. But I think it's worth a shot. And it was just when I was doing the kind of XRP kind of trading, I thought, what if you did the 100x leverage and just did it based on the minute charts? That's all you did. Just look to the minute charts. You could still make a shit ton of money with the 100x leverage. And you just got even 30% out at a time. So what would be 30% with 20 trades? If you didn't go for the 50%, you just went for the 30%. 18. See, this is where the difference comes in. You'd have $18,904 from $100. But 50%, huge, massive difference. Imagine if you're going for 70%. 4 million. Sugar. $4 million if you're going for 70%. From $100. 1.2 million from $100 after 20 trades at 60% per trade. Right, okay, we need to try this. We need to try this. Right, okay, I've went way over my time. I just thought I'd share that with you as well. And Gary Permenta, would make a great video. Any more news on Bitstack? Gary Stewart, there's no more news on Bitstack just now. I think they're going to be able to trade soon with the kind of coins that you've got, the candy that you've got. I think I'm up to about 17,500 candy or something on Bitstack, but that could be big, so I'm looking to do that. If you don't know what Bitstack is, it's just an exchange that's starting from Bittrex, but it's concentrating on Asia, and you'll be able to trade the kind of, you get free kind of candy tokens from them as well when you sign up, when you do your KYC process as well. But just be careful doing your KYC as well. Remember, it's in Asia, they might not have the same data laws as well. Just be really careful. But it's like with any exchange, you have to be really careful as well. Gino Dara, I'd be a nervous wreck, thinking the trades go wrong, that way they get wrecked. You do. You'd have to have the kind of balls of steel, as I said. ICX looking like it wants to break out. Right, I'm going to finish up just now. We'll just go on to next one. On 100x trades down, empty the pot. Will BNB grow up? Unstoppable. Is doing amazing just now, BNB. We can all dream, Steve. Good luck, Gino Dow. Yeah. XRP, I'm feeling it too, Steve. Yeah, I just think XRP will just... Oh, we're coming for the crossover. We're waiting the trade coming to you. We're coming for the crossover for that. So, might do a video and kind of try it, but I'll probably get stopped out in the first trade. And you'd have to put a stop loss in as well, and so you don't get kicked out. Yeah, so that looks like a good time to get in, according to the minute. And what happens on the micro level happens on the macro level. It's just a precursor to what's going to happen on the macro level. So we'll have to think about it that way, if we think about it that way as well. Anyway, I'm havering. I'm going to go just now. Something to think about. There we go, it's not crossed over yet. Something to think about, and I will catch you later, same time, same place tomorrow. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius.